Hi guys, I know we've gone over the parts of the heart and the blood flow through the heart a couple times, but I wanted to make sure we did it one more time. So we're going to go over the parts of the heart and the blood flow through the heart. We did this when we were preparing to dissect the rabbits, and we did it in our initial lecture when we talked about the blood vessels and the heart and blood cells and everything. So why don't you take a moment, pause this video, go get some paper, maybe the back of your notes. There's a blank side on there, either colored pencils, colored markers, pens, crayons, just something with color. So go ahead, get that, and when you're ready, let's move on. So here, the first thing we're going to do, and as I'm doing this, I want you to do the same things that I'm doing. So you're drawing it the same time I am. So we have the heart, and the heart is divided into 4 chambers. So here's the septum, so we're going straight down the middle of the heart, and then on the top we have the 2 atrium. So we're going to put an A here for the atrium. And then we have the ventricles at the bottom. So something else we should probably do is mark left and right. So we're going to be the heart, just like you were going to be the rabbit when you did your dissection. So this is the right side, so we're going to put an R over here, and then this is the left over here. And if I'm going too fast for you, you can always pause it, you can go back. You can re-watch it before the test on Thursday, so feel free to do that. All right, so we have the 4 chambers. We have the right atrium, the right ventricle. We have the right atrium, or left ventricle. Let me try this again. Left atrium, left ventricle. All right, so we're going to talk blood flow through the heart. So the blood comes into the heart in the right atrium. So we're going to draw our 2 vessels here that's coming into the heart. So this is the inferior vena cava, and this is the superior vena cava. And it is bringing blood, deoxygenated blood, into the right atrium. So I am going to denote the deoxygenated blood with the blue marker. So here it is coming in. So the superior vena cava, also called cranial vena cava, and then the inferior vena cava could also be the caudal vena cava. And it brings deoxygenated blood into the right atrium. Right here. Then the blood flow goes from the atrium into the ventricle, but it passes through some valves first. And the valves that pass through are the tricuspid valves. So I'm going to put 3 green lines here to remind me of the tricuspid valve, and that's a 3. So as the heart pumps, the deoxygenated blood goes from the atrium into the ventricle. Now from the ventricle, the blood gets pumped out to the lungs, and it gets pumped through the pulmonary artery. So we're going from the ventricle here, and we're going to the pulmonary artery. So the pulmonary artery breaks a rule. So it still carries blood away from the heart, arteries away, but it is carrying deoxygenated blood still because it's going out to the lungs to get oxygenated. So we're going to draw our lungs. Here's our green lung lobes here on each side. Our green lung lobes. So the blood goes out the pulmonary artery and goes into the lungs where it diffuses and gets oxygen from the alveoli into the capillaries, and it lets go of that carbon dioxide waste so we can exhale it out. So we learned that in the respiratory system. Now, the oxygenated blood comes in through the pulmonary veins. So I'm going to put a P and a V there. So it comes in through the pulmonary veins into the left atrium. So now I got a red marker because it is oxygenated blood. It has a lot of oxygen on that hemoglobin on the red blood cells. So now we have oxygenated blood in the left atrium of our heart. It then, as the heart pumps, it goes through another set of valves to get to the ventricles. And I'm going to put 2 green lines here and a number 2 because it goes through the bicuspid valve. So 32, you're playing March Madness, not this year, but if you were, you'd be number 32. So now we are in the left ventricle because we got pumped through the bicuspid valve there. And now we get this huge push from this left ventricle. It has big walls, it's very strong, and we get this huge push out the major artery in our body, the aorta. So the oxygenated blood comes from the left ventricle and it goes out the aorta, and it feeds, oxygenates the whole body. So some heads up to the brain through the carotid arteries, others head south or caudally and oxygenates and feeds the rest of the body. There's one other thing I wanted to talk about. Down here, this point here kind of looks like an upside down A. So if you make an upside down A, this is the apex of your heart. And then up here, this kind of looks like a B on its side. So this is the base of your heart. So hopefully this kind of helps illustrate, and by you guys drawing it yourselves, I'm hoping it helps you with the flow of the blood through the heart and the different pieces of the heart. So thanks for watching. Make sure you rewatch it if you need to. Pause it, rewind, do what you have to do, and make sure you're writing down the notes as well, because that's how we get stuff into our heads, is by writing stuff down. So all right, see you guys. Bye. Thanks.